the edge of a waterway near Dry Hollow and Marengo Road around Pennsylvania Furnace, Stormstown area, and wanted to look at a couple of the tactics that Clearwater Conservancy is using really effectively to get the water edge established, get it shored up, and get it in healthy conditions. So I wanted to just look at a couple of the tactics that they're using really effectively. First and foremost, you'll see from the water edge up to here, there's the road that's up above. My car is parked up there and you'll see a car going by. But there's what's called a riparian buffer, and that riparian buffer is a vegetative spot on both the left and the right sides that helps anything flowing off from the upland area that might be carrying silt or pollutants or debris or the junk, right, that gets washed along with it. If you have a lawn area, sometimes you'll see pesticides and things getting washed right down into the waterway. So first and foremost, that riparian buffer is a great way for sediments to get dropped and not enter the waterway. So you're essentially cleaning the water before it gets to the water. Secondly, you'll see a couple of cool things here in tandem. I'll come back to this in a moment because I'm standing on some netting. And then in the background, you'll see some log edges. And these are, I believe, I wasn't here when they did it, but typically these are locally harvested logs that are either taken from the property if you're doing some selective clearing, dead fall standing trees that are on the property, but they're done and placed in such a way where on the outside edge, where water is going to treat this like a half pipe, essentially like a skateboarder in a half pipe. They're going to go up and they're going to roll that curve, and they're going to erode and take everything with it. So on the outside edge there, and you can see right here, look at that, on the outside edge here, where water would normally come back in and just scoop this out and run away with all the soil, put it back into the waterway, make dirty water. Well, there's this log edge that's here that on a normal flow rate, a normal flow zone for this water, then you're going to see that log essentially taking the brunt of the water trying to erode underneath it. There is a little bit underneath it. Here you can get a really good view of it. There's a natural matting. Sometimes people use a coir roll. There's other products that are available for it, but this was staked in place and put over top of it so that in the event of a high water event, this water is coming up along the edge and it's not ripping through and taking the soil with it. You'll also notice there's some opportunities there very effectively over here where that netting also allowed seed to establish in place, and then those roots to go back down into it, and deep roots to really hold the shoreline. Last but not least, and there's probably 50 or 60 other cool things you could talk about here. I know because I missed it because I was out of town. There was a live stake planting volunteer day here, and you can see some very effective resprouting, looks like they're willow live stakes that were planted here along the shoreline edge. And what those will continue to do is work in tandem, right? All these systems are working together, where the water edge is trying to take away the soil, and basically it's a battle for keeping soil in place. So you've got the log, you've got the matting, you've got seed and other things that come back in and are established, but then also you've got some big woody things that are in there that are also going to help slow those things down. So here you can kind of see these additional things, and they're starting to sprout, which is awesome, because ultimately you want clean water in a property, you want clear water. You really don't want to have dirty, gross water that raises soil or raises water temperatures, makes for poor fishing conditions. And just, I mean, oversimplification of the day, dirty water is ugly, clear and clean water is beautiful.